my name's Jasmine and I'm from Sound Alchemist. I'm the writer, composer, owner of the company. Recently I asked you guys questions, a Q&A for our 100k special. First of all, thank you so much for that. We very much appreciate every one of you that's helped us to get to this goal. So thank you very much from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you. So the first question that I wanted to address is something that we get on a daily basis. It is something that we no longer reply to in the comment section anymore, because we have given so much content towards answering this question. In every video there's a link to the blog post explaining all the questions that we get, but I wanted to address it just real quickly, and that is, do we have to wear headphones? And various questions around headphones, such as, can we wear earphones? Does a certain brand be okay? Is Bluetooth okay? I mean, it really is endless and it's every day. But yeah, just to note that the answer to that question is yes, you do need headphones, and the simple answer is really just because of the frequencies involved in each of our compositions, and also if it's used through a mobile phone, then the stereo and the panning isn't very good either, and we rely on entrainment and various musical therapies within our compositions that an iPhone or any type of mobile phone just cannot do. It cannot pin out the frequencies. The mixing of it is all wrong. I mean, there really is a long list as to why, but there is a blog post on our website explaining why headphones are a must in what we do, unless otherwise stated in a video. Some videos we try and do mobile versions, but again, these really aren't great from a healing point of view, but are purely there just because you guys have asked us to do that. But if possible, if you can do it through headphones or speakers with a good wide range of frequencies, then you really are getting the best of what we can give you online in a digital space. Next question is, can it cure my major diseases and illnesses? The short answer to that is no. We are very transparent here. We don't believe in giving you false advertisement and false things to help with your illnesses, diseases. It's just not possible with sound healing, and anybody that says that they can cure even something minor such as an eye glaucoma or anything like that, even, and everything up to major illnesses such as cancer, it is just not going to help you in that way. It can help you alongside a medical scientific plan for your illness, and it works extremely well in that respect. But if you're relying purely just on listening to a piece of music to cure your cancer, it is just not going to happen. I feel a bit odd saying this, but the questions that we get on a daily basis, there are so many people out there that do actually believe that that can happen, and that's quite disconcerting because there are other creators out there that do say that it can happen. There's so many people out there just trying to make money out of you and make money out of vulnerable people, and that is not what we're about. We're here to help you as much as we can, and yeah, it's not going to cure major diseases. So the next question is, what softwares and equipment do you use? So for the music side, the composition side, we use Logic Pro X 10.5, I think it is. It is due to be upgraded soon. What else do we use? I mean, we do use various equipment, microphones, recording equipment for the crystal balls and things that we record to get our different frequencies and things. But I don't think this person means that. So for the videos, we edit in Premiere Pro, and we also use Photoshop, and recently we've started using Adobe Firefly, which is quite promising, to be fair. It's an AI generative visual. Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of things we have to do with it to make it work in conjunction with whatever we're trying to portray in that composition. But yes, recently we have been started using that as well. So the next question is, what process is involved in creating your videos? So we have a few different sections in what we do. We do healing frequencies, we do meditations, sound healing, sound alchemy, and relaxation and sleep music as well. They're all very different in the approach to those. So the healing frequencies are really based on a lot of research. We first decide on a topic or a theme for the video, and then once we've decided with that, we will first base those, we will find frequencies that are suitable, what's going to work in that instance for that specific area. We will then go into Logic, input all the frequencies that we need. We have a library of those frequencies, a huge library on an external hard drive that we use. We keep adding to them as well. We then use Logic to manipulate the audios for those frequencies and use various plugins. We also tend to use some MIDI in the compositions for the sound effects. In this respect, those sound effects can be really good at entrainment and grabbing somebody's attention, and also to keep the listener interested and focused on what they're listening to. In the healing frequencies, we do not use chord structures or anything like that a typical music composition would. So yeah, I mean, obviously there's a lot more involved with that, but that's the major parts of it. So I hope that answers the question. The next question is, how much do you make from YouTube? Is it worth the amount of work you have to put into it? I thought this was a really funny question. So I'm going to answer it. So from YouTube alone, we approximately make around 2,500 a month. We also have other things outside of YouTube that, you know, we make money from, such as iTunes, Spotify, album sales, single sales from the website. We also offer services for that as well, but specifically just YouTube. Is it worth it? It is worth it, yes, but the amount of work that you do have to put into it equates to 2 full-time jobs, and people think that YouTube is an easy job, and it really isn't, and especially within the field of music therapy and sound healing. There's a lot of research that you have to put into each composition, which takes a few days to get everything right, and then when you've tested things in there and you know they're right, then you've got the recording stage, getting everything together, compiling everything together, and then you've got the stage of editing it, just the audio, and then there's the stages of mixing, mastering, exporting it, and then you've got the video stages as well, which takes extra time as well. All in all, I'd say it is worth it. It's a long, hard struggle to get anywhere near a wage that you can live off. It took us a good 12 years. I mean, we're slightly different than most people because I didn't really post anything for the first couple of years, but if I'd have done that, we'd have got there slightly quicker. But I'd say it takes about 8 years just to get any kind of recognition. There are also overheads that you have to think about, taxes. So the money that you get from YouTube, money has to go out of that, unfortunately. So it really depends on your circumstances, how much you need a month to live off. But what you get from that is a job, a self-employed job that you're in charge of and that you are completely in control of, and you choose your hours, and that's it. So that to us is better, is the work-life balance that we get from that is better than a 9-to-5 job being told what to do by another boss. We very much think on the basis that that work-life balance needs to be more life than work, and YouTube allows you to do that. So yes is the overall answer. So the next question is, how do you figure out what tones, frequencies, etc. to use for your videos, and how soon does one get results? The way we figure out what frequencies to use, by a lot of research, and being a qualified music therapist, we've learnt so many things that was through our degree and postgraduates, but the majority of the learning came from actually doing it, and what we've learnt over the years as to what works, what doesn't work, what's helpful, what's not helpful. So really, in practice, the frequencies we choose are from a lot of research online, and through things like medical journals, from research that we've learnt over the years. And how soon does one get results? That really is quite subjective to the individual and what you're trying to achieve. So as an example, you have a subject that wants to, let's say, remove built up negative energy. Again, it's subjective to how much trauma this person has gone through and how long it's been there. So if this person has just gone through a couple of weeks of basic negativity, then it could possibly work within a day, a couple of days. But if this person's had a lifetime and more from previous lifetimes as well, then it's going to take a lot of work, and it won't be just from music. As I said in the beginning, with these frequencies and healing frequencies, it's not a standalone treatment that's gonna cure all. So you have to go on a path that's a journey, that's a healing process for you, and part of that journey, sound healing, is great to go along with that. I'm sorry that's quite broad, but it's subjective to everything. It could be a couple of days, it could be a couple of years, it could be a lifetime. It all depends on what you've got going on in life and what you are put here to do. I could go into a lot more detail, but that's a whole video in itself. So this person asks, my question could be this: I would like to learn how to create healing music. Any advice for getting started? What are the steps to take? Best regards. So to create healing music, the fact that it's got healing in it is that you do have to be qualified, and so the best plan for you would be to get qualified. In the UK, where I'm from, the minimum requirements are basic degree in music, specialising in music therapy, or a music therapy degree with some kind of specialist certification on top of that for your chosen area of healing. For me, I spent 3 years in my degree and a year doing a PGCE and a couple of years teaching music therapy. And all that meant that I became qualified as a music therapist. There's different ways of qualifying to be a music therapist, but there's no easy, quick way of doing it. If you want to do relaxation music, then anybody could do that. Learn a few tutorials online on how to do music, how to do relaxing music. you do not have to be qualified to do relaxation music. It's if you start to say that I want to do healing music, then you're going into a kind of medical profession where like a doctor isn't on the same level as what we do. But when you go into a level of care, into being responsible for other people's health, then there are certain things that you have to abide by, and being qualified is one of them. So yes, if you're really intent on going down the healing music route, then definitely get booked on to a music degree specialising in sound therapy, or a music therapy degree first. So this person asked, how do you choose the subjects of your videos? Are you inspired by your own life, or do you think about what people would need most, or do you feel called to do a specific subject? So we choose the subjects. We get a lot of requests. If we feel like those requests are valid at that moment in time, we will choose that and we will put that content out. If we don't get any requests that we do not resonate with, then there is always times when I have spiritual downloads in what I need to put out. On the rare occasion that I do not get downloads and we don't get any requests, then we purely just go off the YouTube algorithms in what people want and what people will most resonate with. And again, that's just from experience of over the years what we've learned that to be. So the next part of this question is, are you inspired by your own life, or do you think about what people would need most? No, we are not inspired by our own lives. We are very much separated, the two. It is a rather odd situation for us in that what I do is it is my life, it's what I'm here to do, but there are no connections between those spiritual downloads and me as a physical being. You know, I come with baggage and everything that a human has to go through on a daily basis, just the same as anybody else does. And if I was to put in my own personality and my own things of what I want to do, then it wouldn't really go down that well. So we are very much separated from that, and we always do what people would need the most. It doesn't necessarily equate to what people want sometimes, but we always do what people need. Yes. So the next question is, the Q&A is a great idea. I hope you will soon reach the milestone of 100,000 subscribers because your work deserves it. Thank you so much. This person comments a lot, and I can tell she is a beautiful soul. How is your day as a sound healer and ASMR artist? I hope you manage to move into nature so you can create in peace. And what are your rituals as an empath and the changing of the seasons? Right, there's quite a lot there to go. Right, so the first one, how is your day as a sound healer? So I personally work every day. I try to have Sundays off. I try. Doesn't always work. So in the morning I go straight to my studio and I start creating content for you guys. I stop midday to let the cat out. I generally give myself a cut-off time of 8 o'clock. It depends on what I'm doing that day. Like things like ASMR and my ambiences need to be done at night, so I tend to do that after I've done a day's work on Sound Alchemist. There really isn't any wow factor in what we do every day. It's just a job to us in terms of the process of what we have to do every day. It's quite repetitive, but I have to go into a certain mindset to be able to do what I do. So I have to live a certain way as well, be in a peaceful environment, which brings me on to the next section of the question. I hope you managed to move into nature so you can create in peace. This relates to one of my ASMR videos that I posted, in that I have to deal with a lot of noise because I do have neighbours. And it's equally both recording for ASMR and for sound energy. It's the same. I need a peaceful environment, and I have that peaceful environment now, in the respect of how I live my life. I don't go out partying, don't do drugs, don't drink. I really live a clean lifestyle, and if I didn't live this way, then I don't think I'd be able to get spiritual downloads and run the business. So that's a part of the way I live. However, I am wanting to move more into a rural setting of having no neighbours and just living completely at one with nature. I don't have that now, but I'm selling the house and hopefully I will have that soon. So when she asks, what are your rituals as an empath and the changing of seasons? This relates to how I live on a daily basis. There are some things that I do believe that help, such as we've just had Auriela, and it's the beginning of spring, of a new season, and this is the only really time that I celebrate and get excited for, because we've just had a long hard winter, and when Auriela starts, it's a new beginning for everybody, not just in religious sectors. Everybody gets that new lease of life around this time of year. So to me, that's very, very important. As rituals are concerned, I don't do any personal rituals, although I do that sometimes, as my general life is that way involved anyway. And I think for somebody to be on a spiritual journey, you have to live a certain way. So there isn't any specific rituals. It's just our lives anyway. I hope that makes sense. So the next question is, I'm so glad to have discovered this channel. Thank you. I'm an impatient person. Is there a way to use these videos to manifest some bigger changes in a shorter amount of time? So yes and no. You can do things in your life, which ties into the last portion of the questions, is that you really do have to change your lifestyle. I know it's not always easy, and people have to work, they have to survive, but you can also put yourself in a situation where you are on that spiritual journey away from negativity of work and things that are in your life. So at the end of the day, it is on you. If you're referring to, can sound healing make bigger changes in a small amount of time, then the answer is no. Sound healing with other things, making major changes in your life, then yes, you could get there quicker, such as your diet, eating healthily, having a stress-free lifestyle, plenty of sleep, meditating, being at one with the universe, getting to that point where you really are connected with the universe so much that it just becomes your life. If you're very much a person that's trying to get there to that point, then healing in a short amount of time is not possible, no. But if you're more progressed and advanced in that spiritual state, then the quicker it becomes. That's a bit of a yes and no answer, but I hope I managed to answer that for you. Next question is, I want to know about ancestral defect. What can we do if family has ancestral defect? So there will be an amount of defects in all of us ancestrally. My personal feelings on this is that this world is we're all here to work on past things that we didn't manage to do in past lives. So we already have that defect in us from being born, and we're here to try and even that out, or turn the tables, or convert it, whatever the issue is that you have in your life. And if your family has ancestral defect, if you're referring to your physical family, then it might sound a bit harsh, but if that encroaches on you and your spiritual journey, then you have to make major decisions as to whether you want that in your life or not. If you're referring to your ancestral family, which could be very different from your physical family that you have in this lifetime, and once you've figured out what those defects are, then you can start work on that if it's from an ancestral family point of view and not a physical family point of view. So the way to do that is really just through listening to sound healing that's based on ancestral frequencies. You could also do ancestral rituals, partake in connecting with the universe and connecting with your ancestral roots. There are lots of groups out there that you can attend to help you do this. I'm not quite sure where you're based in the world, but I know the UK and the US has a lot. But if it's your physical family in this world that is separate from your ancestral family, then again, it really is up to you what you're willing to let into your life. And you just have to make some major decisions on whether you want to carry on with that or not. And that's your decision. It's nobody else's. So the next question is, how much time would it take to clear old magic, stuff like 20 to 25 years old? Can music really negate the effects on its own? So I think I've touched on this in this video anyway, but no, music cannot negate the effects on its own, no. So to help with 20 to 25 years worth of black magic, you're talking a lot of dedication to get there, a lot of work. But again, it really ties into what I've previously said in the previous conversation, in that is how much you're allowing it to happen, how much you're letting it in. Your lifestyle plays a major role in how quickly you're going to get there. Music cannot do that on its own just by listening to it. Sound healing can help the most in a physical, sacred music therapy circle where you're in with those vibrations rather than it being digitally from a video. It's not possible, no. But what it can do is an holistic approach to making major changes in your life. Next question is, do you have suggestions to enhance the videos we listen to help achieve results quicker besides listening to a booster? We've had so many questions on this, how can you achieve things quicker? And when you're talking about major things in life, such as a spiritual journey, there really isn't a quick fix for it. It's unfortunate that we live in a time and our lifestyles and social media all is based around quick responses, like 10-second videos on TikTok. People of a certain age, younger than me, they're all designed now to want to get things done quicker. It's just not possible when you're talking about your health, spiritual journeys, lifestyles. You just can't get there quick. It's just not possible. There is just no quick fix to get there. So unfortunately, it takes hard work. It takes a long time, persistence, consistency. I'm afraid not, sorry. Next question is, does having this frequency playing on you at work, even if you can't hear it, effective? If you're listening through headphones, then with a good wide range of frequencies, then if you have it on low, then yes, it's still going to permeate, because that's to do with vibrations and not what you are actually hear. A deaf person can still receive those vibrations from music. So in that respect, yes. I'm not quite sure what you mean by playing on you. If it's through speakers or a computer screen, then no, because that's even worse than a mobile phone. The frequencies just aren't going to be there, so it's not going to be effective. Playing it at work that you can't hear through headphones, but it's very much playing the vibrations, then yes, it will do. The next question is, I would like to know why and how could I ever be so lucky? Do you mean, I think this person means that they want to create more luck in their lives, and that's really all to do with living in peace and harmony with your surroundings, yourself, being at one with yourself, loving yourself. Sounds cheesy, but it really is true. Once you're living in a certain positive vibration, you will attract more positive vibrations, then you will attract more luck in your life. It really is about law of attraction most of the time. So yeah. Next question is, do these type of videos work for ill-intended people? If you mean ill-intended as in people that aren't so nice, that are quite evil people, then yes, they would work depending on what the subject is and how far gone they are from an evil point of view, from a negative point of view. If you're playing a sound healing piece that raises vibration and to achieve happiness, and this person is completely desolate and there is no hope, then it's not going to work. No. They also have to want to heal themselves and want to work on themselves. That's a major part of sound healing as well, in that you have to put dedication into it, and if they're forcing it, then it's coming from a wrong place, so therefore it's not going to work. So yeah, it's just all relative with that one on how far ill-intended they are. If there's still hope, then it would work in a very slow way and a very delicate way, but hopefully one day they might pick it up eventually and roll with it. That then would work faster for them. So the last question is aim ? So our aim for Sound Energy Alchemists, eventually we would like to take this onto a physical thing, in that we want to open up some kind of a holistic centre that works with frequency and healing. There are these pods that we've seen that look amazing. They're a bit like deprivation pods, but they come with speakers inside that give the best frequency responses that you will ever receive. So it is like a sound healing bath in a deprivation tank type thing that's just being directed at you wholly, and we would like to get a few of those, but it is our aim to open up a centre for those types of treatments, because we feel like music therapy needs to be done in person to get the full benefit of it, and you need to be in the same space as those vibrations, because digitally you're losing a lot of that healing. We've also got major plans to open up things alongside that for somebody's healing journey, centres, things like apothecaries, and really the whole package that you need to be on a healing journey. So yeah, a sound centre is our ultimate aim. So I think that's all the questions. If you found this video helpful, then maybe we could do it once every few months or something. Let me know in the comments whether that's something that you'd like, and we will surely do that. But thank you so much for everybody that's commented and asked questions, and thank you so much for getting us to 100k. It's all on you guys, and we appreciate you so much. We hope you have a lovely day. Thanks for watching.